Most men think attraction is about what they do in the moment. Curious, but what if I told you it's actually about what she feels before anything even happens, during it, and long after it's over? Attraction always begins in the mind long before it ever becomes physical, because a woman processes emotional signals first, not actions. When she feels intrigued, curious, and mentally engaged, her body naturally follows that direction. This is why the way you look at her, the pauses you create, and the tone you carry matter far more than any physical move. If her mind is stimulated, everything else becomes amplified. Thoughtful. Most men ignore this and focus only on the visible, but the invisible layer is where real connection forms. When you create thoughts that linger, emotions that build slowly, and curiosity that keeps her wondering, you are already ahead. The physical moment then becomes a continuation of something she has already started to feel internally, making it deeper and more meaningful. Anticipation is one of the strongest emotional triggers because it allows her imagination to take control, and imagination is always more powerful than reality. When you don't rush, when you let moments stretch slightly longer than expected, her mind begins to fill in the gaps. Curious. That buildup creates excitement without you needing to do anything excessive. Most men make the mistake of acting too quickly, thinking speed equals confidence, but in reality, patience signals control. When you slow things down, when you hold eye contact just a second longer, when you lean in but pause, you create a tension that feels electric. Sighs. That tension is what she remembers because it gives her time to feel instead of just react, turning a simple moment into something emotionally charged. Slow moments carry a weight that fast actions can never replicate because they allow emotions to settle and deepen instead of passing quickly. When everything happens too fast, it feels forgettable, almost automatic. But when you slow down, every second becomes more noticeable. Thoughtful. She becomes more aware of your presence, your energy, and the connection between you. This awareness creates intensity without needing force. It's in those quiet seconds where nothing is rushed that attraction grows naturally. When you take your time, you signal confidence and control, showing that you're not trying to impress but simply experiencing the moment. Sighs. That calm pace allows her to relax into the interaction, making everything feel more genuine and memorable. Confidence transforms even the simplest gesture into something powerful because it changes how the action is perceived. It's not about being bold or loud, but about being certain in your presence. Thoughtful. When you move without hesitation, when your actions feel natural and unforced, she senses that stability. That feeling of certainty makes her more comfortable and open. On the other hand, hesitation or overthinking creates doubt, which breaks the emotional flow. Confidence doesn't mean perfection, it means authenticity. Sighs. When you're grounded and sure of yourself, even the smallest action carries intention. That intention is what makes it attractive, because it shows that you are present in the moment rather than trying to achieve something. Timing is what separates an ordinary moment from an unforgettable one, because even the right action at the wrong time loses its impact. When you act too early, it feels forced, and when you act too late, the moment fades. The key is reading the emotional rhythm between you and her. Thoughtful. When there's a natural pause, a shared glance, or a shift in energy, that's when timing reveals itself. Most men ignore these signals and rely on logic instead of feeling. But attraction operates on subtle cues, not rigid rules. Curious. When you learn to sense when the moment is right, everything flows effortlessly. It feels natural rather than planned, and that authenticity is what makes it powerful. Eye contact is one of the strongest forms of silent communication because it creates a direct emotional connection without words. When you hold her gaze with calm confidence, it signals attention, presence, and interest all at once. Thoughtful. It also builds tension, especially when it's not broken too quickly. That moment of connection can say more than any conversation. Most men either avoid eye contact or overdo it in a forced way, but the key is balance. A steady, relaxed gaze allows her to feel seen without pressure. Curious. It creates a space where emotions can develop naturally. When eye contact is combined with subtle expressions and timing, it becomes a powerful trigger for attraction. Subtlety is often more impactful than intensity because it leaves room for interpretation, and that's where attraction grows. When everything is obvious and direct, there's no mystery, and without mystery, interest fades quickly. But when your actions are controlled and understated, she becomes more curious. Curious, she starts to think, to wonder, to feel. That mental engagement is what keeps attraction alive. Being subtle doesn't mean being passive, it means being intentional without being overwhelming. Thoughtful. It allows the moment to unfold naturally rather than being pushed. This creates a sense of ease and intrigue at the same time, making the experience feel more genuine. Energy and presence are felt before anything else because people naturally respond to how you carry yourself. When your energy is calm, confident, and grounded, it creates a sense of stability that she can relax into. Size. If your energy is scattered or anxious, it creates discomfort even if your actions are technically correct. Presence means being fully in the moment, not distracted or overthinking. Thoughtful. When you are truly present, your focus becomes magnetic. She feels that attention and it makes her feel valued and connected. This kind of energy doesn't need to be forced. It comes from being comfortable with yourself and the moment you're in. A woman responds more to how she feels than to what you actually do because emotions drive attraction, not logic. You could perform the same action in two different emotional contexts and get completely different reactions. Thoughtful. If she feels safe, appreciated, and intrigued, even a small gesture feels significant. But if she feels uncertain or disconnected, even a big effort falls flat. This is why understanding emotional context is so important. Size. It's not about memorizing actions. It's about creating the right feeling. When she feels good around you, everything you do is amplified. That emotional foundation is what makes moments meaningful. Mystery creates desire because it keeps her mind engaged, always wanting to understand more. When everything about you is obvious and predictable, there's no reason for her to think about you later. But when there are small unknowns, subtle hints, and a sense that there's more beneath the surface, curiosity grows. That curiosity turns into attraction over time. Mystery doesn't mean being distant or confusing. It means revealing yourself gradually. Thoughtful. It creates a balance between familiarity and intrigue, allowing her to feel comfortable while still being interested. This balance is what keeps the connection dynamic. Comfort and trust are what allow attraction to deepen, because without them, everything feels temporary. Thoughtful. When she feels safe with you, she becomes more open, more expressive, and more emotionally present. That openness makes every moment more meaningful. Trust is built through consistency, honesty, and calm behavior. When your actions match your energy, it creates reliability, sincere. That reliability makes her feel secure, and in that security, attraction can grow naturally. Without comfort, even strong initial attraction fades quickly, but with it, even small moments can become powerful. The right moment turns something simple into a lasting memory because it combines emotion, timing, and connection all at once. Thoughtful. When everything aligns, even the smallest action feels significant. That moment stays with her because of how it made her feel, not because of what exactly happened. Memories are emotional, not logical. Size. When you create a moment that feels natural, unforced, and emotionally rich, it becomes something she replays in her mind. That replay is what strengthens attraction over time, making the connection deeper without needing constant effort. So in the end, it's never about doing more or trying harder. It's about understanding the moment, the emotion, and the connection you create. Because when you truly master that, thoughtful, even the simplest gesture becomes something she can't forget.